Hello, hello, hello. It's almost 1:30. Today, we're going to wait for some people to jump on. But today we're going to make caramel apple empanadas. It's almost time because it was a minute. So it's 1:30. I hope that your apples have already been boiled so that we can go ahead and get started. So today we're going to need your apples, your 2 apples, or 1.5 apples cut up with 1/4 cup of water, or apple juice. We use apple juice. The apple juice kind of gives the apple pie a better flavor. So we need at least 1 pie roll. You need sugar.
Butter.
Yes, butter is optional. Butter is optional only because
caramel.
Yes, you do need caramel. Because the apples are already wet, so we need something that'll kind of get the apples, the cinnamon, the sugar to stick to the apples. That is always a good thing to have, like butter to get things to stick. But if you want it to be a little less fat, you could exclude the butter.
You need these.
Yes, you need those utensils. Let me turn the music off. You need those measurement utensils, which have 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon,
You're gonna need this.
tablespoons. What's that?
This.
What is that?
The stuff.
Yes, it is. Okay. And then don't forget to get you a little bowl. A small bowl. Hold on, Blessing. This is not organized. Please. Get you a small bowl. And this is what we're going to use to actually make the empanadas, to make the shape of the dough for the empanadas. So, we already have our apples. Also, I'm going to show you guys how to roll dough, because when you use the bowl, you'll get like 3.
Everyone knows how to.
Do they? I don't know that everyone knows. But you'll get like 3 empanadas. But if you roll it out, you can get 5. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer the apples into this bowl. And this might be good for the parents to do if you just made it, because they may be warm. We're not rolling anything. Yeah. For the amount of apples that I have, I'm just going to put a tablespoon of butter. Mine is softened, but it should be melted butter. So I'm going to grab a dish to melt it, because I feel like when you add the butter, it kind of moistens the dough, and so it makes it more flavorful, and it makes it flakier. So I would just go ahead and you could do about, I don't know, maybe like 10 seconds. It should be melted within like 10 seconds. So this is very quick, and then I have something to show you all towards the end to actually boost the flavor of the empanada. Something that may already be in your refrigerator. If your parents drink, so 15 seconds wasn't enough, so we're going to do another 15. Excuse me. To enhance the flavor, something that already may be in the refrigerator. Don't forget, guys, it's very important while you're cooking, before you start cooking, to wash your hands. But Bless and I both washed our hands prior to getting things prepped and starting this class. So this is the butter. So this is the melted butter. Okay. So we're going to add that. I'm going to do that because it's hot. But I'm going to let Blessing mix it up. So she can use the spoon to mix up the butter and the apples.
Okay.
Yeah, mix it on up in there. It'll look like it's a lot in there, like a lot of butter, but some of that is condensation from the water, the juice you use when you boil the apples. So good job. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start adding the sugars. So we're going to use 2 tablespoons of white sugar, what we have here. Okay, guys, let's get your 2 tablespoons of white sugar. There you go. Gotta make sure it's clear. Okay, it's okay. Go ahead. So because we didn't quite get 2 tablespoons, I'm going to add a little more because getting it out, we didn't quite get the 2. Sorry, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just from that.
Oh, okay. Now we're going to add the brown sugar, which is 1 tablespoon.
1.
Uh-huh.
Is it?
Yep, that is it. So you're just going to add your 1 tablespoon. Oh, don't forget, I think she showed you, but you need your caramel. It could either be the sauce like caramel. It could even be like just the caramel blocks. You could either cut those up. You could put them in the microwave if you wanted to make it like a sauce and add like maybe just a teaspoon of, sorry, there you go. Yep. A teaspoon of milk. Okay, and so now we're just going to stir up the sugar with the apples.
I couldn't verify your voice, so I can't change the lists. You can either try again or verify
Sorry, that's
voice
our
match settings in the Google Home app.
Be quiet, Google.
Good job, good job. Okay, so now we want to add a half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
It's apple yogurt.
I'm sorry, not a half a teaspoon.
I mean,
Yeah, half a teaspoon, sorry. Half a teaspoon, I said tablespoon. Okay, good job. So you kind of get this mixture here. Hold that, because that's your, is that one? Get your half, yeah. So now you kind of get this mixture, right, where it's kind of gooey. That's that butter, that's the juice.
Mommy, say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So now, Bless is going to add that half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Why so hard? Oh. Why is it so hard for kids to do that?
Well, I just use it a lot. Okay, and then we're going to stir it up so we get this nice coat.
Just like cinnamon, apple cinnamon.
Yeah.
Wait, was that cinnamon?
And then if you feel like you like it darker, and you could actually taste it to see if it's sweet enough for you. Because I cook my apples in apple juice, it's going to be sweet. The apples were already sweet. And we use Granny Smith apples. You could use honeycomb. You can use whatever apple is your favorite. Granny Smiths tend to, I don't know, I like the flavor better for the green apples.
Granny Smith is from My Little Pony.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how our mixture is beginning to look now. So you can kind of taste it. Take your little spoon and just, you know, put some on your finger and taste it and see if it's sweet enough for you or not. If you want to add more, yeah, you can taste it. So we're going to let Blessing taste it and see if it's sweet enough. If not, but don't forget we're adding caramel as well.
Good, I guess.
Good, oh, I'm putting your glove on. Good, I guess.
Yeah.
So, it is or it isn't, boo. But it's okay because once we add, you can add more sugar if you want if it's not sweet enough for you. But you're going to also add caramel, which is very sweet because caramel is nothing really but sugar. So, so we're going to put that to the side. So we have our apples done. So now we're going to pull out our dough. So this is the dough that we We're not going to use that just yet. So this is the dough, the pie dough that you can get already. It's already in a like pie crust style form, and you just roll it out gently. Rub it out. Let me put this more close to you, Bless. Oopsie. And if something like that happens where it comes apart a little bit, you just kind of push it back together with your hands, because it's kind of thin, because you don't. And I'm gonna show you once I roll it out and roll it out again after I get these two, I think, or three that'll come out of this one. Once you roll it out, you know, you want to make sure you get the same kind of consistency. So if you have like a measuring, a ruler, you could see, but this is kind of barely measurable. But if you just look at it, you know, you can kind of, and feel it. If you lift it up, of how heavy, how it feels, the texture, the way that it feels will help you to determine if the crust is too thick or if it's too thin. Okay, so we're going to use the bowl. We're going to use the bowl, and we're going to find an area. So we want to get as many empanadas. Oh, I'm sorry. You okay? Okay, sorry, guys. So you want to get as many empanadas as you can, right? So we want to make sure that when we're putting the bowl on the dough, that we're keeping it close together. We're giving it enough room to be able to have that separate dough. So you see how I'm close to the corner of it. Not at the corner, but close to the corner. But it gives me the opportunity to get another one here, another one here. Okay? So we're going to do as Blessing is doing. Great job. Pressing down until it actually cuts into the dough. So we're actually going. Yeah, so it cut into the dough. Then we're going to pull the bowl. So hold on. No. Okay. So I'm taking my finger, and I am just going around. You could take a knife, but since this is for children, you know, I just want to be careful with the utensils. So that is one circular cutout, okay, of dough. If you feel like, you know, you can always, well, we can fix that. Well, hold on. No, because we need to get 3. So remember I said we needed to be close. Yeah, it's okay. Mommy can fix it. Oh, okay. So we're going to fix that back. Come help me pat it back together. So look, it's that easy. You can fix the dough right on back. Well, hold on, not like that. So you got to kind of pinch, right? Because you got to get that circle out. So you see how I'm using both fingers to kind of pat. So that's a prime, you know, things happen. Hold on, Bless. Because we need to be able to put it back. We need to be able to get 2 more. Okay, let me see. So, this is only because this is, okay. So, that gets it back into shape. So, we're going to start, hold on, let's show them. We're going to start as close as we can to the last circle that we made. Hold on, to the end of this pie crust. There you go. So you just want to kind of like go slowly so that you keep the same position. So it doesn't give you, it's hard with the glass. So you see what I'm saying? There you go. So you got another one. So now we just need to pull it up. Now I'm going to bring it over here.
Mickey Mouse ears.
No dough goes to waste here. This can be cut off. That can be cut off now. It can be cut off afterwards. And so you see what I meant? So we could get 3 plus. You understand? Okay, so let's do the 3rd one. Go ahead. All right, so now we're doing the 3rd one. Okay. So you want to kind of keep it. Okay, good job. So let me get it off because it's hard. Yep, and then pull that out. You got to look at it. Look. You see how you have that? You want to get that. You need to pull this out. So I'm going to show you real quick because we can't get any more out. Okay? So I'm going to show you how.
We can make more?
Right. What we can get, because these are mini empanadas. Now, if you were to use a larger bowl like this, you could only get 1, and then you would have to keep rolling it out. So I'm just putting things back together. Hey, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm just rolling the dough. I'm putting it back. And then, yes, I'm going to show you what to do, okay? So you take the pan, and because we want a circular. Sometimes it's good, because it's a store-bought dough, the extra flour, it's not really needed. It doesn't really stick to the pan. But if I were making my own dough, I would have flour down the counter. I would have had flour on my hands. I would have had flour on my pan so that it wouldn't stick and I could get a perfect or almost perfect, because nothing is ever perfect in this world, pie crust, or buns. Like I made cinnamon buns. What did I make them? Sunday for Monday, and so I had to make my dough. But that one I had to make them more rectangular. But see, I want it to be thin, right?
It's like a carrot.
Like those.
Or a carrot.
So we can go ahead. And it looks like we could get 2 more out of this. Yep. Yeah. The actual roll might actually be good. Okay. So this one, as you can see, picking it up, it kind of went, out of what we were doing in the circle, right? But that's okay, because we can fix it. I'm going to show you how you can fix it. And by the time you bake or fry it, is it covered on the other side? Nope, no, it's not. It's not. So, what you can do, you can move dough. It's like Play-Doh. Play-Doh. If you're a master at Play-Doh, you will be a master at dough. Okay? There you go. So what I did was I just took a little bit of dough from here, added it on here, so we could get that other empanada, since they're going to be kind of little, since they're mini. Okay, so go ahead, do it, boo. So we're almost done. Like, it's very quick and good. Okay, let me see. Good job. Okay, because you want to keep it in that circle.
I'm going to carry it.
Well, let me help you get it. It sticks to the... Uh-oh. But just put it down. I'll fix the hole. Okay, so we're going to be done with the dough for now. I'll fix it. Okay. I'm going to fix this dough because we got a little hole for my nails or something.
But it was 2. That is my fixed 2 one. Now there's only 1.
Yep. Okay, so we're good to go. So, let's turn the oven on to... I cook them on 350. Now, if you look at the back of the pie dough, the pie crust, it'll say like 400 for like 15 to 17 minutes. I hardly cook anything on 400 unless it's like a pizza. Because the higher the temperature, the faster the outside of the crust will darken, right? But then you have to think about, well, what do you have inside? So if I was making an apple pie, I cook it on 350 because I don't want it to get too dark on the outside, and then that bottom layer, that the filling is on top is not done, or it's like salt, it's like not crisp, it's not flaky. So it's important to kind of cook slow. I cook a lot of things slow, just because it just reduces the chances of it burning or undercooking and looking overcooked. And that's important. Appearance, I believe, is very important when you're baking, when you're cooking. So just keep that in mind. So now we're going to take the apples. Good job, Blessing. Yes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer our cooked apples with our butter and our cinnamon and sugar, right? and we're going to put it inside the dough. And so if you have a teaspoon available, that's probably what you're going to need, because this is not going to fit a whole lot because we don't want it to spill over. So we're going to take, can you see the bowl? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take some of the apples, and we're just going to put it right here in the middle. Be careful with the juice, because that's the part that'll. Then I have this sauce caramel, and we're just going to put some on top. So you see what I'm saying? If it wasn't sweet, it's going to be sweet after that. So now,
I'm going to do this.
What I was concerned about.
I'm going to do one.
You got to, you know, I need the other spoon that doesn't have all that sauce. I don't want it to spill out. We're going to move it over. We're going to take it over. And then we're going to start pushing it down lightly around the edges. Combining, just pushing the edges together. Can you hear me? Okay, so we're pushing the edges together. It's leaking out a little bit, but that's okay. Then we're going to, okay, good job. We'll put it more so in the middle because we got to move over. Oh, that's too much. I'll probably add a couple more because we got to be able to close it, okay? And the apples will cook down more and they will move. Okay, that's enough. But no, don't put that in there because it'll, oh, let me see. Go ahead, just a little bit. Okay, that's it. Good job. Okay, now you put your caramel.
I'm doing it.
Did you put some in there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're going to fold it over. Come on. Fold it over from one side to the other. See what I was saying? Let me see. No. Let me see. See, that's why I was saying we don't want too much. Because we got to be able to fold it without the cinnamon mixture coming out. Okay? And then you just press down like that. Yeah. Press down. Go ahead, finish pressing down. It needs to be joined. So see how here it's joined all the way around? It's joined. It needs to be joined. This one has a little leak. The apples came through.
Mine don't.
Good.
Well, maybe it does.
From the, what? Outside?
Mm.
So now, like I told you, you can fry this. You can fry it. You can fry it. But when you fry it, you need to fry it, anywhere from like, I would say 5 to 7 minutes. Only because when you fry it, that whole concept, when I was telling you about the temperature and the oil, it'll get it darker on the outside, but in the inside, it won't, the pie crust won't be done. And so the goal is to have a completely cooked dough, because dough has eggs in it. So
Eggs in there?
yeah. So it's really good fried, like really good fried, but it's good baked as well. You can do the next one. It's really good baked. Baked as well. And so you just press on the edges. Press the edges down to get it to do its empanada thing. Okay? So that is one.
No, those are two.
But I only grabbed one. There's two. You didn't press all the way down. So it wasn't pressed all the way down. So you gotta press it down so it comes. Because if it does that, then, and see, it's too much stuff in there. I was trying to tell her, she didn't want to listen. But it's okay. We'll learn. We learn from our mistakes. Don't put the sauce. Try not to put the sauce. The apples have already. That's okay.
I'll just put the sauce on that.
But the sauce, we don't want it to leak out, right? You see how yours turned out right there, right? So we don't want that to happen. The apples have been sitting in the juice and have the sugar on there. Plus we're putting caramel on there. So you want to have plenty of flavor. Put your caramel.
Can I do the caramel?
Not too much. Just enough. Listen. I'm trying to put it. Okay, sorry. I might be in the way. I'm just trying to fix this without it bending it over. Just go ahead and grab it as fast as you can when there's too much in there. So that it, because when you put the edges together, it's a seal for what's inside. So it doesn't leak out.
I always do the caramel.
Go ahead and put the caramel in. Okay, that's good. Close that. Put it up. Thank you. Bend it over.
Why do we have this
Let's
thing?
start. That has a hole cut in it.
Why did we have that to do?
That was if we wanted to put it in, make larger ones. But I'm glad we did the mini because we were able to see what our mistakes were and how to do it correctly. So it gave us opportunity. We can't really bake that one. So, okay, we have this one here, which just make sure that it's sealed at the bottom. Okay. See that hole? Can you guys see it? I'm going to fix it. So.
The hole is just dragged.
And then you have to remember, like, once the dough kind of gets to, this is like we playing with Play-Doh. I don't know if, for the parents, if you remember playing with Play-Doh as a kid, it's the same thing, just...
Did you play?
Yeah. You don't think I played with Play-Doh? Okay. So, I just have a little pan because we have the little ones. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I put parchment paper. I don't know if you remember from the first class, but I told you it's a really good idea to put parchment paper down on your pans because it helps everything to cook even. Because you'll find that these store pans, the regular store pans, it'll be darker at the bottom, but the top of it may be light. And so you may keep cooking it because it's light on the top, but the actual bottom is like burning. So we want to prevent that. We want it to cook evenly. So I always use parchment paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the fork, and to seal it, you know, if you wanted to give it that pie look, you take your fork and you put it in, right? And that's actually helping you seal it as well. Even more. Yeah, I'm going to let you do it. I'm just doing one to show everyone. Okay? So look. You got your little pie. Okay? So, just to give you an idea of how it looks, can you see the one on there? You put it here. Oh, you can't see it here. Put it closer. So we have apples left over. You want to make something else, okay? Something else that you can do for empanada is if you have biscuit mix, you can take the biscuit mix, the dough, and kind of roll it out and put your filling in and bake it. Just as long as the time you have, the instructions you have on the biscuit. So that's hers. Okay. So now, this one is kind of like leaking out. We might gotta leave it with those two because they had too much put on in them. And as the kitchen gets warmer, as the what do you call it? The pie crust. The pie crust becomes more room temperature. It's kind of harder to manipulate it. Like it can tear away easily. So we're gonna move that over.
Is something in the oven?
No, it's just the oven is moving. So let's see if it goes.
Why?
I'm sorry, I just want to try to fix.
Why did you wash the gloves?
Because I had to.
Can I do that?
Hold on. I need to fix that.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That means it is only. We've only been on 30 minutes.
It's about to be a 2:01.
It's me trying to fix it. Which I probably won't be able to save it like this. I probably need to do a whole nother like circle. But I was trying to fix it so we could have it. I don't think I can. So I'll just have to figure this out later. We'll just go with those 3 because the other 2 have too much feeling.
This has a hole in them. They have holes in them.
Okay, so too much. So what you can also do is take a little bit of aluminum foil. Separate them so that they don't burn. You can lay it on the top. You don't even have to like put it all on the bottom. Just the top. So that they don't burn. I don't know if you make apple pies, but if you make an apple pie, it's good to do this around the crust. You could also like put a little water around the edges too, around the edges of the pie. But because I was just leaking a little bit, you got plenty of liquid. And then the apples are full of water. This is just to protect it from burning and letting the areas that have the areas that have the filling in them, you want that to cook into brown, right? So, but you don't want to have a crispy edge. So that's all. So we covered them up so we don't have to worry about those getting darker, the edges getting darker before the parts where the apples, because of the moisture from the apples, it prevents it from getting as moist. So it prevents it from getting not as moist, but as burnt. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these in the oven.
Okay.
Set the timer for 25 minutes. Check it in 20, so you can set it for 20 just to see. And then, or 15, however, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then I'm going to show you real quick how you make a really, really good glaze. So for all you coffee drinkers, for the parents, if you have some coffee creamer, you can use milk, you can use half and half, you can use whatever. You can use water if you want. If you want a more clear base glaze, you can use water. But if you want a creamy looking glaze, you must have do that. She just filled up her glove with water. So she must have got bored. So you can, if you want a creamy glaze, then you need to use a milk-based product. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of confectionate sugar,
hot water,
and these are really good with ice cream. So I have a tablespoon of confectionery sugar because I don't need a whole lot. I just put a drop of this. I have the caramel macchiato because we made caramel. I might put too much. Just pour a little bit in there, right? And then you just kind of like shake it. Just stir it, shake it. And get you a glaze. And if you feel like, I probably need a smaller bowl because you can barely see it. But I don't want to make a whole lot because it doesn't take a whole lot. But I'm going to have to make more than that. I'll take another. I got it in a white bowl, so. But I'll show you from the ones that I've made already so you can see. I'll put some more on there so you can see. I'm just pouring a little in there just so I can get a glaze, right? But I want it to be a flavored one. So just in case you didn't put enough caramel, if you had some caramel creamer, this is the way to go. Just enhances the flavor. I'm not quite sure what's going on over there at the sink, but she's left me. But it's all good.
Okay, I'm done.
So look, let me show you. You see that? That's a glaze. You can't because I'm using a white bowl, so I didn't think about that when I should have used it clear. But that's your glaze, right? So when you put that over that warm empanada, oh my goodness. When I tell you, it is going to be good.
Put my fingers like that. Look, everyone. Look what I made.
So I guess instead of baking,
is it hot?
She's making water balloons from glaze. So I don't know.
So
now,
it's wet water. Feel it, Mom. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. It's hot.
So let me show you how it comes out. So here are the empanadas. I made these earlier. So they already have the glaze on them. And I try to put some apples in there and I put some caramel on them just to like, because we got caramel apple empanadas. But when you like put it on there, oh my gosh, you see what it melts to? Like, this is something that is in the store. Hey, hey. Hey, Deb. Hey, Kimberly. So that's it, guys. So, like, it takes 20-25 minutes in the oven, and you have a caramel empanada. Eat it with some vanilla ice cream or butter pecan ice cream, whatever your ice cream of choice is, and indulge. Like, you're going to enjoy it. So, let me know. Take some pictures if you made it. Let me know how it came out. But if you can make this glaze, I recommend it. I recommend it. And even if you don't have, if you only have milk or you have half and half or whatever, or whipping cream, if you have caramel that's like in a sauce form, or if you have regular caramel, if you warm it up, you could actually put it in there and get a caramel flavor. There's so many ways to do it and still get the same outcome. So we enjoyed you guys. Thank you all for participating. We'll see you next week. Next week, we're going to do chocolate ganache dip fruit. So any fruit of your choice. You're basically going to need a bag of those chocolate morsels and some heavy whipping cream. And then that's pretty much it. So I want to teach the children how to dip fruit. So thanks for joining us. We enjoyed you guys. Till next time, I forgot to tell people to share, but I'll tell you next week. Take care. Say bye, even though you left me.
Bye.